2 yards, Daquan Felton. Schrader out of the end zone. Here comes the pressure. Schrader, safety.
College, big challenge.
Today's matchup, Hokies of Virginia Tech taking on the Eagles of Boston College.
Down, Ellis pursued, the ball thrown over the middle, and Chancellor Green's the receiver.
It doesn't matter what it takes. It doesn't matter.
And Fancher bottled up, sent down to the 10.
Everybody in this locker room, it's your will and determination.
The sack. Mario Kendricks.
I get one today, baby. Let's change the game. Change the game today.
And Drones throwing. Got a man. Oh, and he's open.
You tie your feet up. You suck your head. And you put your helmet on and go play for something to me. Come on. You start this the right way. Come on. Whatever it takes. That's what I'm talking about, boys.
Come on, lay out, boys. Bam on 3, 1, 2, 3, bam.
And a good morning to all of you tuning in to Hokies AM live from Boston, Massachusetts in Chestnut Hill as Virginia Tech gets set to take on Boston College at noon Eastern on the ACC Network. Thanks so much for waking up with us this morning. Let us know where you're watching today's show from. We're going to have comments popping up all week, all show long, I should say, not all week. Next 30 minutes or so, we're going to have a jam-packed show for you from the Team Hotel Live. Just behind us is the team room where they will eat breakfast. Team just walked out to be able to wake up and do a morning lap, and they'll ultimately walk back into the team room to eat some breakfast, get ready for this matchup today here in Boston College. Let's take a look at what's coming up on today's show for you. Jam-packed show, just as I talked about. In just a moment, we'll bring you into the film room with head coach Brent Pry and former All-American Kevin Jones as they break down the tape ahead of today's matchup against Boston College. We'll go one-on-one with Hokies quarterback Monsieur Delane during this week's Triumph NIL practice report, and we'll bring you inside access from the Team Hotel as the Hokies get set to take on Boston College at noon Eastern on the ACC Network. As we get you ready for today's matchup, let's head to the film room. We sat down with head coach Brent Pry and former All-American Kevin Jones.
Hey, Hokie Nation. It's Kyron Jones, QB on the Virginia Tech football team. Follow my channel on triumphnil.com and subscribe today.
Virginia Tech getting set to hit the road to take on Boston College this Saturday at noon Eastern as we welcome you into the latest edition of Coach's Corner. Mitch Gerber alongside the former All-American Kevin Jones and head ball coach Brent Pry. All right, fellas, let's start in the first half of this game, first quarter, 2:42 on the clock. Nice defensive play here from your defensive unit coach.
Yeah, this is a zone pressure. We got them backed up, and we're going to bring an extra guy and Kelly Lawson, get the ball thrown quickly. They happen to be running a screen. Nasir, the boundary safety, he's tracking what's number 2 to him, which is the back. And so, this is just, again, him doing his job and good closing speed and a good solid tackle.
Yeah, same thing. I think it was a good solid tackle. They had some good backs that game, so we had to be on our P's and Q's. So this is him, seeing that guy, making sure, and boom, it's a good tackle.
Yeah, it was, that was a big part of their plan week in and week out was their screen game. But again, just reading the right keys, being in the right place, and then I think the other piece was you never look to get blocked in the screen game. As perimeter guys, you're always trying to knife things and split things. You don't want to tie up with big guys in space because generally they can't block you in space. They shouldn't be.
All right, let's go to the offensive side of the football just before the end of the first half here. Nice run play by Bayshall Tootin.
Yeah, I think this thing's set up. We get some initial blocking up front that gets winning grades, and then from there, Bayshall kind of takes it over.
Yeah, the thing that was impressive to me is once you become, a seasoned back, you start to set your blocks up. So his patience there, where he was setting that block up and cutting and getting upfield. Because if you rush this, you run right into the tackle. 14, set that up, boom. Breaking tackles in the open field. We got to get those extra yards.
Yep, good run. Right when we needed it. We're in the red zone before the half. I wish we'd gotten in here, make it 14-7. But, obviously broke a couple tackles. I think initially good stuff on the split zone play by the front.
Yeah, and for a back, going into the half here, it's like you go into the half with some momentum, get a little energy going. The more touches you get, you start to warm up, set the defense up for your next move. So that was a good way to finish.
Virginia Tech getting set to take on Boston College this Saturday at noon Eastern on the ACC Network.
Welcome you back in live to the Hokies AM Live. After the morning walk, we're headed to the meal room to get ready for today's matchup against Boston College. We got a special guest for you guys here on Hokies AM Live. Quarterbacks coach Garrett Jones. Coach, it is loud and chaotic in here at all about 8:07 a.m. What's going on behind us? Take us through what the points of what they're trying to do for your guys this morning. What's your typical morning routine on a game day like this? Noon Eastern kick, early kick. What's your routine as a coach? For you specifically, what's your message to your position unit today?
Leave no regrets. I tell guys, no matter what happens on the play, don't ever play a play where you're not trying to win the game because you can satisfy yourself after that. But if you play a football game and you don't do everything you can to possibly win, then you're going to have regrets. We're only promised so many of these opportunities, so we got to make the most of it.
When you look at the tape for Boston College, what jumps out about them that you're going to try to stop today?
The run more than anything else. They're a big football team. They like to commit themselves to the run. And that eats up clock. That allows them to control the game. So if they can do that, it's going to be difficult on us to get the ball into our offensive hands and give us a chance to score. So what we've got to do is we've got to go out there. We've got to be aggressive. We're playing on the road. We're playing in their environment. So we got to go out there with a chip on our shoulder today and win a physical ball game.
Do you have a morning ritual plate that you go with as far as the food spread on a game day morning?
I'm not like that at all. I'm not much of a breakfast person, so I'll probably have a little bit of fruit.
That's Coach Jones. Appreciate you joining us here on Hokies AM. We're going to let him go eat breakfast and get ready for this matchup between Virginia Tech and Boston College. Once again, you guys are watching Hokies AM Live here in the team hotel as we continue to count you down towards kickoff between Boston College and Virginia Tech. All right, we continue our coverage here in Chestnut Hill. As we continue to count you down towards kickoff, let's get some shout-outs on the screen here. You guys have been phenomenal all morning. It's early. I saw somebody that's watching down in Orlando. Awesome. That's awesome to wake up early with us down in Orlando. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Ann says, let's go. And right back at you, Beverly. Go, 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 Hokies. Appreciate you tuning in with us here this morning. Watching in Canada. Go Hokies, Montreal, Canada. I don't know what time it is in Montreal right now. I think it's probably pretty close to where we're at right now, 8:10 Eastern time. But, hey, appreciate you waking up with us nice and early. And then Kathy says, let's go Hokies. I like this little score prediction right here from Braden. 45-17 is his score prediction for today's matchup. Join us afterwards for today's Triumph NIL postgame show with head coach Brent Pry and company, as we'll break down today's matchup between these two programs, Boston College and Virginia Tech. We'll sit down, we'll select Virginia Tech student athletes, and as I mentioned, a coach to wrap up today's coverage from Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, here in Boston, just outside of Boston, actually. It is a balmy, chilly morning here in Boston, but it's one of those northeastern fall mornings where it's just crisp air, and college football is just in the air. You're like, all right, let's wake up and let's go get after this one. So a beautiful morning here in Boston. The sun is shining, as you probably saw in the shot behind us as the team finished up their morning walk. Coach Jones provided some great insight right there as far as what goes on why they do something like that, to be able to wake the guys up at 8 a.m. Eastern. I mean, you guys have to remember, these are 18 to 22, 23-year-olds that obviously enjoy some of their sleep and stuff like that, but to get going right away, get fast, get started, all that is super important. So the music and all that, obviously by design, as we'll take you into the team room here in just a second. You watch Coach's Corner with head coach Brent Pry, former All-American Kevin Jones, breaking down some footage ahead of this matchup with Boston College. Let's hear.
Hey, Hokie Nation, this is head football coach Brent Pry. Name, image, and likeness has created an unprecedented opportunity for you to play an active role in bringing championships back to Blacksburg. I'm asking you to be part of the team. Go to TriumphNIL.com today and become a monthly subscriber. Your support is critical to keeping Virginia Tech competitive and relevant on a national scale. We can be as good as we decide to be. Thanks for doing your part at TriumphNIL.com and go Hokies.
Well, NIL at Virginia Tech, obviously extremely important for you guys to continue to support. If you are unfamiliar with how to do so, go check out TriumphNIL.com today. A lot of cool things on that website if you want to take a look at that. Just go into Google, type in TriumphNIL.com, and you're going to land on this page right here. All sorts of different things for you to look at, from exclusive content to shout outs to different experiences with pretty much any single athlete at Virginia Tech that you want to be a part of. There's the membership page right there. Anything from as low as $10 a month all the way up to $6,000 in annual support will make a difference, will make an impact for the NIL efforts here at Virginia Tech. It's simple. You can make an impact. The time is right now. If you have any questions about Triumph NIL or the Hokie Way, let's chat. Send us a direct message on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you're on, Facebook, and we'll try to have a conversation about what NIL is and why it is important here at Virginia Tech, because ultimately we can be as good as we decide to be. That's TriumphNIL.com. Once again, TriumphNIL.com. Softball team just came out with a Virginia Tech softball podcast, actually, as you saw right there. It's called On Deck. If you're a softball fan watching, go check that out. Both Emma Lemley, Emma Ritter are hosting that podcast, the On Deck podcast. Super cool content as they talk about the things that they want to talk about. Their first episode broke down some Halloween costumes across the team, and then talked a little bit about softball, from pitching to hitting and so on and so forth. So go check that out. Halloween and softball episode 1, that's On Deck. Virginia Tech softball focused podcast. All right, let's take a look at what's coming up on today's matchup as Virginia Tech and Boston College meet for the 32nd time in Chestnut Hill. This matchup dates back to 1993 as Virginia Tech leads the overall series 20-11, including a win in Brent Pry's first game against Boston College as the team's head coach back in 2022. The teams have split the last 10 meetings. However, Virginia Tech's defense continues to lead the ACC in sacks. That's something to watch for today, with 31 on the season so far. Good for 7th in the country. APR, Antoine Powell-Ryland, leads the Hokies with 9 sacks so far this season. And then if you look at the offensive side of the football, quarterback Kyron Jones has thrown for over 1,000 yards, 1,306 to be exact, 7 touchdowns, and adding 406 yards on the ground with 4 rushing touchdowns this season. Now, as you look at this footage right here, Coach Jones alluded to this. Obviously, Boston College's quarterback is elusive on the ground. He can throw the ball just like Kyron Jones. He can also run the ball just like Kyron Jones. For him so far this season, he has 760 yards and 10 touchdowns throwing the ball for over 1,710 yards, while racking up 12 touchdowns. Physical runner, elusive passer, so Virginia Tech's defense will definitely be up for the test today, as Coach Jones alluded to just a little bit earlier. Kickoff set for noon Eastern on the ACC network. All right, let's do this again. Let's get some shout-outs going on this early morning, wherever you might be watching from. Let's do some shout-outs. Let us know where you're watching from. Let's try to get every single state covered in the next 10 minutes or so. We've got an opportunity to be able to cover those states. Let's get some of those shout outs right now on the screen, just like this. James watching over in Richmond, Virginia. Hope you're having a fantastic morning, James, over in Richmond. I don't know what your morning spread looks like, as far as maybe a little bit of breakfast. Maybe it's a little bit of college game day coming up here in just under an hour or so. Maybe it's Hokies AM Live. You're just streaming that right now. That might be it. Real Bill P watching over in Tazewell County, Virginia. There it is. I couldn't see that for a second. Appreciate you guys tuning in here with us here bright and early this morning as we continue to bring you that nonstop coverage, exclusive coverage from the team hotel. Speaking of the team hotel, why don't we take a look at what is in the team room right now? You just saw the guys warm up, going for a morning walk. You heard all the chaos behind us, from the music to the tunnel of everybody clapping, getting guys awake and stuff like that. Let's actually head into the team room and show you some of the B-roll, or show you some of what is inside there. So this is the breakfast spread they got going on right now. All sorts of different options. Hence why we asked Coach Jones about this. Do you have a typical morning breakfast that you have to go to? He does not, but I'm sure some of the guys in that room have to have an egg or something like that. So there's the team room. That's where they're sitting right behind us right now inside there. You see those lights that are kind of blue? Those are actually blue lights to help people wake up. Backed by science, there's a lot of strategy that goes into these things to just be able to create that extra edge on game day. So this is the quarterback's table. You can imagine Kyron Jones and company sitting around this right now, getting their breakfast, getting their minds right. They're listening to a message from head coach Brent Pry, and then it's very silent in there actually on a morning game day to be able to think about, okay, what do I got to do today? What comes up next? What do I need to do to make sure that I do my job on the field? So on and so forth. So that's the team room. This is walking right outside of there. Our sets just beyond there in the corner. This was just a little bit earlier, so you can imagine what it is like for these guys on a game day. Here's one of the team position meeting rooms. This is offense and defense, the defensive position room you see right there. This is like all of the defense, not just position by position. This is where they sit down for a little bit. They go over their P's and Q's to make sure they're ready for game day, to take on Boston College here at noon Eastern on the ACC network. Pretty cool access into the team hotel. These are the things that you guys don't necessarily see every single game day. So to be able to bring you that access, we need your support to continue to do so over at triumphnil.com. Make sure you go subscribe to a monthly membership so that we can continue to bring you this type of access, unprecedented access, all access, pass, whatever you want to call it. This is the type of stuff that we want to continue to be able to show you guys. So once again, go check out triumphnil.com. All right, so we've heard a lot about today's game. We've heard a lot from Coach Jones. We heard a lot about what the preparations are, as you just saw right there, from the meal preparations, the team doing their morning walk, getting ready for this matchup. Let's hear from cornerback Mansour Delane, who we caught up with earlier this week for a Triumph NIL practice report.
Visiting with Hokies cornerback Mansour Delane as Virginia Tech gets set to take on Boston College this Saturday at noon Eastern. Mansour, what's been the primary focus for you guys defensively this week?
Definitely things we struggled with in the past, stopping the run, obviously containing this quarterback, very elusive, great playmaker, so that's our main focus, is stopping them guys.
What are some of the things that jump out on tape when you look at Boston College?
I would say, very physical team, want to load the box, and obviously, like they said, they want to be the more physical team when it comes down to the fourth quarter, and that's how they get their wins.
For you specifically, what are some of those little things that you're trying to fine-tune this week before taking on BC?
To combat those things, be aggressive, fit the run, play fast, play on the edge, and play at 110%.
You being one of the leaders on the defensive side of the football, as you guys progress coming off of last week, leading up towards kickoff on Saturday at noon Eastern, what are some of the things that you're saying to your position unit specifically?
We've got to be better than we were last week. Keep improving. It's a new week, 1-0 this week, and it all starts with tomorrow's practice and how we come out and attack that day.
Hokies will look to go 1-0 this week against Boston College at noon Eastern on the ACC network.
All right, so that is Mansour Delane, who we caught up with earlier this week just outside of the team practice facility after practice, breaking things down for you. We caught up with Derek Jones, the cornerback coach here, so a lot of information into what the defense is going to look for in this matchup today. All right, so we've got something special coming up right now. Kevin Jasinski, who is one of the specialists here at Virginia Tech football, works in the operations department, just brought us this beautiful spread of food right here. Look at this. All right, so we got a waffle. We've got some eggs, we've got some bacon, we've got some potatoes, and we've got some toast. This is exactly the options that the guys got. Look at this sausage, too, it looks like right there. So beautiful spread for the guys inside the team room this morning to be able to do so. And then you got to obviously have some healthy stuff. Some fruit right there. You need that, right? Come on in here. Kevin Jasinski, appreciate you for dropping this off right here. Fruit. You got a fork?
We got a fork.
We got
to take care of you. Napkin, fork, knife,
napkin, fork.
You need, Mitch. So that's for you
right
there.
Thank you. Appreciate that. What a good spread.
Fun fact, there are lunch options in there, but considering it was 8:20, I figured you might want breakfast.
There are lunch options, but considering it is 8:21 in the morning, breakfast is the way to go. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Once again, this spread, I mean, I'm going to devour this after this live stream right here. So, hey, good little morning spread. Let's hear from Mike Vick on what he has to say about Virginia Tech and NIL.
You know, fans got to support NIL because the product is on the field. And, you know, college football is changing in so many ways. You want to make sure that you're competitive just like everybody else in all fields, all aspects, and, you know, grow with the game. So I encourage everybody to continue to be a part of the change and the evolution of college football, and NIL is where it's at.
All right, so take a look at this. Real Bill says he just got hungry. I mean, this is going to be delicious here this morning. If you just missed it, here's the spread that the guys got inside the team room right here. There's multiple different options from waffles to eggs to bacon to potatoes to toast to sausage. You name it, they got it. So they're getting ready for this matchup. David says, good morning from Smithfield, Virginia. Hope you're having a beautiful morning. Appreciate you waking up with us here this morning on Hokies AM Live. Once again, don't forget to join us for the Triumph NIL postgame show after today's matchup as we visit with select Virginia Tech student athletes as well as coaches, breaking down today's matchup against Boston College, which will take place at noon Eastern on the ACC network. Well, earlier this week, just a few days ago on Thursday, we had the opportunity to partner with the Hokie Way to be able to go to the new Academy Sports and Outdoors in Christiansburg, Virginia. If you haven't been there, I believe it opens today. Women's basketball team is going to be there in full support, every single one of them, to be able to shake hands, open the new store. Go check that out. That is Academy Sports in Christiansburg, just outside of Blacksburg. Beautiful store, but this was on Thursday. Some Virginia Tech student athletes spending time with Boys and Girls Club of Southwest Virginia to be able to go on a little shopping spree for some of those kids. So obviously a great job there by the Hokie Way, Triumph NIL, and the Virginia Tech student athletes. All right, as we continue our coverage here just outside of Boston, Massachusetts, let's get a few more shout outs in before we wrap up today's show. JP Crew, nothing like being a D1 athlete. I mean, this morning breakfast, got a little, hear that crunch? Nothing like it. Nothing like being a D1 athlete right there. As you said, Smithfield, ham, and Thanksgiving. Go Hokies. Real Bill. Real Bill, you're the MVP of today's show so far. Multiple comments, tuning in, share this show with your friends, hit that like button, whatever you want to do, be able to share this show with your friends as they wake up. I know some of you are early risers. Some of your friends may not be. So share this show on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching from. And let's continue our coverage here just outside of Boston and share that with your friends to be able to help us build this thing. Once again, triumphnil.com. Go check that out today. All right. Appreciate everybody tuning into this edition of Hokies AM Live. That's going to do it for this edition of Hokies AM Live. Thanks for watching, waking up early with us here this morning. Special thanks to our entire crew who made this show possible all the way back in Blacksburg, all the way to Boston. Obviously, these shows are not easy to be able to do, but appreciate the entire crew making this show happen and the NIL and the continued support of the NIL mission here at Virginia Tech. You have a chance to make an impact on the future of Virginia Tech football like never before, and that starts today. Go check it out on triumphnil.com and join our community as Virginia Tech gets set to take on Boston College at noon Eastern on the ACC network.
Hey, Hokie Nation, this is head football coach Brent Pry. I'm asking you to help our student athletes continue to have a positive impact on our community. By partnering with local charitable organizations, the Hokie Way and Triumph NIL have given our student athletes an opportunity to use name, image, and likeness to bring a voice to those who need our help the most in Southwest Virginia. Please donate to the Hokie Way or go to triumphnil.com and become a monthly subscriber today.